The battleships of the Imperial Japanese Navy were really something else, known for their huge size, strong armor, and heavy firepower, making them some of the toughest ships ever built. The Pacific theater during World War II was full of action and played a key role in naval battles, featuring daring island-hopping tactics and some cool amphibious operations. Both Japan and the United States had a great lineup of ships, each with their own special skills. While aircraft carriers eventually became the face of naval power after the war, it is worth remembering how important battleships were right at the start of this epic conflict. Let's take a closer look at the battleships on the losing side and select the top 4 of Japan's 8 World War II battleships. Number 1. Nagato. The Nagato was built between 1917 and 1920 and was a classic example of the super dreadnought battleships popular in the early 1900s. Named after the Japanese province of Nagato, this battleship was pretty big, measuring 708 feet long and 95 feet wide. It packed some serious firepower with 8 16-inch guns that could fire 2 rounds a minute over 40,000 yards. One of the cool things about the Nagato was that it could launch and recover aircraft. It had a catapult and a boom system to get float planes like the Mitsubishi F-1M, Kawanishi E-7K, and Nakajima E-4N2 in the air. While we think of aircraft carriers for planes, the Nagato handled this quite well. It survived World War II but was later chosen as a target for Operation Crossroads, which was the US testing nuclear bombs at Bikini Atoll. After an underwater explosion, it listed capsized and sank, and now it is a popular wreck site for scuba divers. Number 2. The Yamato. The Yamato, like the Nagato, got its name from a Japanese province, but it was on a whole different level. This battleship was massive. Seriously, it was the biggest one ever built. Get this. It was 862 feet long and had a beam of 127 feet and a draft of 36 feet. It displaced over 70,000 tons and was powered by 12 boilers manned by a crew of 3,233 sailors. In terms of size, it was nearly like a modern supercarrier, but it was built way back in 1937, right before Imperial Japan made its big push to take over the Indo-Pacific. The Yamato wasn't just huge. It was armed to the teeth with a crazy array of weapons, including 18-inch guns, 6-inch guns, 5-inch dual-purpose guns, 1-inch anti-aircraft guns, and machine guns for air defense. It was packed with firepower, but despite all that, it was still vulnerable and met its end during Operation Tango in 1945 when American planes took it down. At number 3, the Ise. The Ise was pretty small compared to the Nagato and Yamato, coming in at just 683 feet long and weighing 37,000 tons. Launched in 1915, she was considered a bit outdated by the time Japan ramped up its aggressive expansion in 1930s. To fix some of the Ise's shortcomings, the Japanese gave her an upgrade in 1930s, adding a pagoda-style mast and torpedo bulges to make her tougher in dangerous waters. After losing 4 aircraft carriers at the Battle of Midway, the Ise was turned into a makeshift aircraft carrier, and she managed to carry and launch Yokosuka D-4Y Susei dive bombers and Aichi E-16A reconnaissance planes during World War II. Unfortunately, like the carriers she replaced, the Ise was eventually sunk in an air attack. After the war, she was scrapped near Kure, where she was left in ruins. At number 4, Kongo. The cool thing about the Kongo is that it wasn't even originally Japanese. A British engineer named George Thurston built the Kongo in Britain. It seems a bit strange now, considering how the Kongo eventually got used, especially since the British were such key players on the Allied side. But back in 1911, when they ordered a battleship for the Japanese Navy, the British had no problem making a battleship for the Japanese Navy. While other Japanese battleships from World War II were famous for their size and firepower, the Kongo stood out because of her speed. She could hit 30 knots and use steam turbines for her engine. Despite being fast and having a British design, the Kongo was taken out by American torpedoes roughly 55 miles northwest of Keelung, Taiwan. With this, the Buzz is signing off for today. But we'll see you guys again in our next video. Bye bye.